This video is for anyone that is looking for a sign. I'm out here, beautiful sunny day, hanging out with my favorite pine trees. Found a beautiful rock, and I got hit with this really big idea. I'm pretty sure it's meant for you. You're also on the spiritual path. There's a lot of trust and surrender and unfolding that we're called to do that can be a bit intimidating. It can be a bit daunting. It can be a bit confusing and overwhelming. That surrender and that trust is huge. Tapping into our body's wisdom to let us know and to guide our way. It doesn't always make sense to our logical mind, like it really doesn't. And it's not meant to. Our minds do their best to reason with the information that they have and the experiences that have been had. So by playing into this script of trying to get things all figured out and sorted through, we tap into this previous knowing based off of old beliefs and limitations and experiences and feelings and judgments and projections that have taken us for a ride. Your heart doesn't lead from that type of space. Your heart doesn't hold on to that baggage and hold on to anything that is not in alignment, not in resonance, and just straight up not true. It's up to us to tap into our bodies and expand our heart space and move into things feeling more expansive and in alignment, even if they're scary. An example in my life is this really deep calling I have to move into a van and do more things like this and do more chats like this. And it's a funky calling to have because, I'm just like most normal people. I work during the week, I live in a house, I have a regular car, I have all my items and my family and my friends, and I've been being pestered by this deep knowing that it's time to go outside, it's time to rewild, and it's time to adventure again. Now I'm someone who has lived in 4 states, and I've circled back to come back home this past year to really ground and regroup. And I don't know if this is the same for you, but whenever I get these little nudges and callings, I often run, jump, leave, bounce, and let the dust settle and figure out the rest later. This is the first time I'm really being called to be a little bit more grounded in my plans, be a little bit more organized and intentional with my movements to make them more sustainable, to make them less rushed and pressured and reactive, and to set this tone for some sustainable peace to come from this call I'm getting. And as I'm navigating how exactly to do that, I'm realizing that it takes so much patience and trust. Not only patience and trust with ourselves, that this calling is something that is being planted within us. And as much as this adventure life is being called to me, I'm sure there's something being called to you. Whether it's a relationship or a career or a move or a hobby or something nagging in your mind that just kind of won't leave you alone until it's tended to. What I will say from my experiences with divine messages and intentions being planted, because that's really what they are, it's the awareness that matters more than the action. Moving in and through these different phases with awareness, holding space for the call without being impulsive with it, holding space for the call and allowing more breadcrumbs to come along your path. That's where real magic happens, and that's where the real power comes from. The more we ask for support and give thanks for the support we get, that's a positive feedback loop and a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, in my calling, I'm sitting here, instead of jumping at the nudge to disappear and to explore and get to know myself more, get to know the land more, I'm also pushing myself to be patient, pushing myself to be calculated, kind of bridging these 5th dimensional nudges and downloads into the 3rd dimension. As much as we want to frolic in the woods and be fairies, money's a real thing. Reality is still here and real, and it's about walking between the worlds and bridging the gap between these planes. I know all of this kind of sounds out there, but it just felt like this message was really important. Not only in the reminder to listen and honor the truth in your nudges. It's not just your imagination, it's your destiny. But then also not rushing yourself, not pressuring yourself, not guilting yourself, not overthinking it. I could sit here and be like, oh, well, what, that life is dangerous, it could be lonely, it could be fearful, what if I break down? What if things worked out best case scenario? What if all of those challenges are just opportunities to grow? And what if, beyond the veil of your ego, which is just here to keep you safe, here to keep you small, here to keep you doing familiar things comfortably, what if right beyond your comfort zone is your wildest dreams, is your happiest self? What if? So the wind speaks through the trees, and she reminds us that we're supported. She reminds us that we're never alone. And she reminds us that these big ideas that feel expansive and exciting and just so full of life vibrantly, that's our destiny. Honor that knowing in yourself. Honor that calling and do it with love. I love you. And I'm wishing you all of the best on your journey. I hope this message found you at the right time, and I'd love to hear what you're going through and how you're able to lean into it and trust. Trust yourself, trust the process, trust the timing, trust the divine intervention and the protection and the blessings that surround us all the time. Trust in all of it. Because just as we could think of all the different ways things could go wrong, we could pour our energy into thinking of all the different ways things can go right. Things can be beautiful beyond our wildest imagination. So, thanks for being here. And I'm also offering different channeled readings. If you're someone that would love to connect a little deeper to your higher self or the divine and see what you need to lean into and tap into to forge your highest path, I'll leave a link in my bio. I would love to connect with you. Stay blessed.